Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds podcast. I'm your co-host, Boom Gato, the cat that hands you your hypocrisy back. And to my right of here is the main man, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form that dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas rather than spicier content. Your girls only fans.
What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and with that, let's get right into it. So, a little bit of a funny story here. Me and my man had actually recorded a video on this exact topic about a week and some change, but we had a little bit of editing issues, so we're going to run it back one more time, give you guys the rundown from the beginning until right now, which actually kind of worked out because something new happened today. An additional piece of news came out today regarding the topic. So let's get that. With that, let's get right into it. So, Miss Body Positivity, Miss Big Girls Are Just As Beautiful As Anybody Else, Miss
100% that bitch.
100% that bitch. It's been found that this particular individual is a big-ass hypocrite. Now, why is this individual a big-ass hypocrite? Well, it seems that this individual has been fat-shaming some of her backup dancers.
Allegedly.
It seems that this individual has not been paying her people.
Allegedly.
It seems that this individual is now, as of today, came out in the news today, is countersuing these backup dancers and the people that have made these allegations towards her because she is saying it's hurting the brand. It is not true. It is absolutely false, and a number of other things. Now, something else that I found pretty interesting. Apparently, there was actually a lawsuit that came out, a lawsuit that was filed about 6 months ago before all this news broke out. Very, very similar to what's being alleged in the current lawsuit against her. And, it's funny because the things that have been said about her fat shaming, about all the sexual abuse concerning taking her backup dancers to I don't want to call them sex clubs, but to strip clubs where they were apparently strongly coerced into touching we'll call it talent on stage and all that. She has denied all of it, but it's funny because all of these things that are being alleged are things that, according to her, she would never do. Now, it's interesting, and before I get into my personal thoughts about this, what do you think about just the allegations, my man? Just the allegations. We'll get into how we feel about everything, and we'll start breaking everything down. How do you feel about the allegations so far?
Well, I mean, just from things that I think she's even done in her own actions outside of her own music, and even some evidence inside of her own music, I don't think she was never really full on about the whole body positivity thing, or at the very least, it's very one-sided. And look, just from simple actions that she's done outside of her music videos and even inside her music videos, she was all about promoting body positivity. But again, that seemed very one-sided. And as we'll get on, we'll see it's not even just one-sided. Now it's just one-dimensional. So you have seen her trying to hit on multiple pretty fit athletes. You've seen in the music video for Juice that she's getting rubbed on with lotion by very muscular, very physically fit man. And you've even seen her. I think she's actually with an entertainer right now. I don't want to call him a comedian, but the fact is he's an entertainer. And again, he's also pretty slim, pretty athletic build, very fit. And my thing is, all this talk about body positivity, and it's only going one way. How is it that you're all about, I never saw anybody in music videos when I was growing up, people that looked like me. And her whole thing was employing all these women that are like, okay, I never see them on stage. I never see big girls on stage. I never see, my people being represented. I'm going to do that for them. And all these allegations about fat shaming and fat phobia coming from her. And you realize all of her actions, all are kind of lining up with that. Even though we're not getting an exact truth, you start to see, she whether or not they prove it or not, she's kind of starting to exude all this sense about, okay, she's not really all about positivity. I never see Lizzo trying to fuck with any fat boys. If you're all about body positivity, you have to go all the way. I was like, okay, but it's a preference at that point. Cool, but if you're going to be promoting one way or the other, and all your record shows is just skinny people, athletic people, thin people, muscular people, yes, you're all about body positivity, but not when it comes to the big boys. Now look, he knows my history. He knows my dating history, the women that I've dated. I have more of a record of body positivity. I loved every single inch of my girls. I didn't really care about anything. To be honest, if I'm going to be completely honest, a fupa kind of turns me on. That's a little out of pocket, but yes, I actually do like that. So, and look, I'll even go a bit further. I've actually, my last girl, she actually talked about going on a diet and doing, forgot what the surgery is. Forgot what it is, but it was a dietary surgery where she was basically there you go, a gastric bypass. Thank you. Where she was actually going to cut off a part of her stomach, and I think it's a complicated surgery, but it was basically she was going to try and fast track basically losing some of her belly fat. And I actually thought it was, in a selfish way, I thought it was because of me, but it turns out it was really more she wanted to fix herself a little bit. And I always made sure to assure to her, like, look, I hope you're not doing this for my sake. I got with you when you were bigger, before you were doing all this dieting thing. I just want you to make sure, or at least I want to make it absolutely fucking clear that you're not doing this for me, or at least you feel that you're having to do this for me. I loved you when you were bigger. Whether or not you were bigger, it didn't really make a difference to me. I loved you for you, which thankfully she was like, cool, I'm doing this for me. She wanted to do it of her own volition, but I did want to make it very clear, at least verbally, look, I hope you're not feeling like you were pressured to do this for me. I loved you. I didn't give a shit. But yes, I personally have more of a say of body positivity than Lizzo does, especially when it comes to dating and all that. So, is she guilty of fatphobic just because she has these preference for thinner men? Not necessarily, but it doesn't exactly paint her case in a very favorable light. That's on my end.
Listen, let's be honest here. It's not about body positivity. It's the Lizzo show. She only cares about body positivity as long as it comes her way. I've seen her shoot game at a lot of these skinny ass rappers, a lot of these skinny ass dudes. It's not about that. Look, apart from my man here being into bigger women, which is perfectly okay, I'm a big dude myself. I'm not ashamed of it. Here's the thing. We, as a combined unit, are more body positive than that girl is. If what the allegations that are being alleged are true, we're more body positive than she is. Now, don't get me wrong, we don't have the same platform she does. We're not, super famous and all that other BS. But the fact that her own dancers are saying, hey, if we got too big, she said, you got to get the hell out. That's not body positivity. She just wants to be the center of the show. She wants to make sure no one is too big because she wants to make sure that the light is on her. She wants to make sure that she gets all the attention. So let's be honest, it was never about body positivity. It was about this big ass fucking hypocrite, and I can say that as a man of size myself, that she is being a fucking loser. She just wants the attention. And listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna even bullshit. I was never really a big fan of her music. I generally saw a lot of the hypocrisy going on where she was shooting, her shot at a lot of these skinny individuals. And I said, well, it's kind of weird that she says she's all about body positivity, but she's not into big dudes. And that's fine. Maybe, it's just her preference. But see, that's the problem with this whole body positivity thing. If a guy like myself, for example, let's say I'm into petite women, I'm into smaller women, I'm into women that are not BBW. I'm considered fatphobic, even though I might be a big man myself. It's funny because, again, people like Lizzo don't really care about the movement. Sure, they may shine a spotlight on it, but only because, in reality, she's part of the spotlight. So let's call it what it is. It's hypocrisy. She just cares about her being in the positive light. And let's be honest. I know a lot of people say, oh, look, she's up there. She's doing more exercise than linebackers and blah, 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 all this other BS. Whatever. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. And I know this pretty confidently, that if she would have not taken off like she would have, I guarantee you somewhere along the lines you would have seen a story come out, oh, Lizzo has decided to take her health into her own hands and she's losing all this weight and blah, blah, blah. But because she gained traction as the big girl and the big girl that's shining a light on big people problems, she took off. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for it if you want to be body positive. My man here wants to date all the big girls he wants. I am all for it. Shit, take him, my dude. But let's not pretend that Lizzo is the person she claims to be, especially because, again, I and a lot of the public were under the understanding that this was the first lawsuit brought against her for such allegations, but apparently there was one previously about 6 months ago. It just didn't really get, as publicized. So let's call it what it is when it comes to these people. Let's stop idolizing these people that are clearly hypocrites because, as my man here said, I don't see her, dating these big old dudes. I don't see her shooting shot at big old dudes. I don't see her reaching out to big men, and that's perfectly fine. If your preference is not big men, there is nothing wrong with that. That is your preference. But then don't shit on other people whose preference is also not big women. Stop being a fucking hypocrite. Stop making fucking excuses. If you want to be big and you think that's beautiful, there is nothing wrong with that. More power to you. But don't pretend like you care about the plight of all the other people if all you really care about is, hey, don't love fat people, just love me even though I'm fat. That's some bullshit. Let it the fuck go. And let's stop calling out the hypocrisy, not just with Lizzo, but with anybody that shows this type of hypocrisy. Before I get too much further, I think I've said my piece, my man. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yes, look. If Lizzo wanted to come out and basically be all Kanye and basically say, oh, this is the Lizzo show, I want you to pay attention to me, this is all about me, this is all about you're listening to the Lizzo show. If she would have just come out and said that, you know what? In a weird way, I kind of would have respected it. And to be honest, especially in the pop field, it would have been a little bit new. Let's be honest.
Yeah, because it's honest.
Especially, look, let's be real. She has an unconventional look about her. Even though she looks sweet, if she gave off that bad bitch attitude, I guarantee you that would have been very unorthodox, and it would have actually helped her case. But she tried to go the virtuous route and try to say, oh, it's because of fat phobia that people are going up against me. It's the world against Lizzo. All this blah 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 blah. But again, look at all the selfish actions. She's been hitting on a bunch of athletes when she's been preaching about body positivity. All the representation again has only been about bigger women, not necessarily bigger men. If you're going to do a body positivity message, you have to encompass it as a whole. Even Meghan Trainor, that all about that bass lady, she even had a fat boy in her music video, which I think perfectly encapsulates the whole problem right there. Meghan Trainor was willing to put big men and big women in her music videos, especially one that was emphasizing bigger bodies as a whole. All About That Bass encapsulates both men and women. Her video very much encapsulates that. And Lizzo wasn't even trying to do that much. And even then, her whole clapping her bare ass cheeks at an NBA game, you know for a fact that has nothing to do with body positivity. She just wanted to bring attention to herself. And think about that. All for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, the camera was on her, and that was her message. Clapping her cheeks at an NBA game. An NBA game which, again, kids attend, families attend. It is not supposed to be a mature thing. She made it basically her show just for a very selfish reason that she painted under a virtuous light. If you want to do it, if you want it to be the Lizzo show, cool. But don't hide behind a body positivity message. Don't try and be self-gratifying, virtuous, none of that. If you want it to be that show, be honest about that. And the unfortunate part about that is look, even if these women don't win this lawsuit, you can guarantee they're going to get blacklisted. And Lizzo is the only platform that they have for big women to have this, for being backup dancers, for being performers. Who the hell else is going to hire them? Be real with yourself. If they're gone from the industry, guess what? Nobody else can. No Miley Cyrus, no Katy Perry, no Lady Gaga. Nobody's gonna hire these big women because it doesn't necessarily fit their message. It would only fit Lizzo's message because nobody else is body positivity. According to her message, nobody else is body positivity. Nobody else is bringing these women out into the forefront. And guess what? Now that she has a problem with them, now they're not coming back.
One more thing that I was actually thinking about right now as you were talking about that. One more thing that I have as far as a gripe that I have with this woman. See, listen, most artists, as they grow, as they continue into their career, evolve. Lizzo is a one-trick pony. I'm big. That's their entire thing. I actually made this similar comment about other rappers and how basically they are a one-trick pony. They say one thing every song over and over again, and that's why they don't ever evolve. Listen, we get it. You're big. We understand. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. You're big. That's fine. every fucking song is about I'm big. I'm big, I'm big, and you need to love me because I'm big, I'm big, I'm big. Which she didn't do with her own backup dancers. So I call bullshit. I think it's fucking stupid. I think we need to stop giving these people all this attention, idolizing them like there's some sort of god, so on and so forth. It's bullshit. It's been bullshit from the beginning. Anyone that's taken a closer look at it and said, really paid attention to the body positivity message knows that it's bullshit. But hey, it is what it is. It's Hollywood. They got to push somebody. They got to sell the product. It is what it is. Anything else you want to add to that, my man?
That's all from me.
With that, like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.